Imagine this. You're a college student and it's the end of the semester on a Sunday afternoon. You just wake up and you think about the final you have tomorrow at 8. You feel pretty nervous, but it's not until tomorrow, so you roll over. That is until your roommate comes in and says, "What are you doing in bed? It's Monday. I thought you had a final." That happened to me. Thankfully, I woke up, but it was still Monday, and an hour and a half past the time for my final. What happened next was like a scene out of a movie. I shot out of the room, ran down the street to the building that my test was supposed to be in, cried and cried until the professor let me take my exam, thankfully, but I still failed. And after that, I received the very first F and the only F that I've ever received on a transcript. And that was life-changing for me. As a freshman, I thought my life was over, and I doubted my competence as a college student because I was biology pre-med, and I thought doctors shouldn't fail classes. And so I was a wreck. And I didn't know what to do next, so I did what most people do when they're faced with a problem. I turned to Google. And I typed into Google, "What should I do? I just failed a college class." Now, among the many pages of articles that came up, one of the most significant articles for me was an article by accreditedschoolsonline.org, conveniently titled, "What to Do If You Fail a College Class." Now, among the many different things that they suggested, like maintaining a good sleeping schedule, having a healthy diet, keeping up with time management, all things that most college students should be doing, one thing did kind of stand out to me in the back of my mind, and it was find your passion. And at the time I was thinking, what does your passion have to do with a class that you have to take to get your major? I was like, of course my passion is wanting to get into medical school. Who cares about this one little chemistry class? So I turned to Baylor's page, and Baylor's university course repeat policy online is that if you make a C- or worse, that you can retake that class and apply for academic forgiveness with a better grade, and they will replace that grade. So I thought this over in my mind, and I thought, no, there's got to be a better answer. There's got to be a better way than me having to take this god-awful class again. So I turned to my academic counselor, who turned me to my career counselor, and the very first thing that my career counselor suggested was change your major. And I was absolutely offended. Now, I had wanted to be a doctor, or more specifically, I'd wanted to go to med school since I was in middle school. I specifically went to my high school because they had a medical program, and I was very lasered in on wanting to go to medical school. Now, when I got to college, I couldn't say that I quite felt the same, but I felt that if I were to change course paths and change career paths, it would negate everything that I had done in high school, everything that I had worked for, all of my volunteer work, and I couldn't do it because I felt like I was quitting. And so I ignored her. So she gave me some homework, and that was to go home, go do a few career quizzes, some personality quizzes, and she sent me some professional ones, not career quizzes from BuzzFeed. And on every single quiz, not once was the number one match for a job doctor. So I considered that, and I considered the find your passion note from the first article. And things started to fall into place for me as I thought, maybe I do need to change my major. And so I thought about why I didn't pass my class. And so I turned to Med School Insiders. And one of the things that they pointed out is, are you hardworking? And so I reflected on my work ethic as a student, and I would say I'm a pretty good student. Dean's List, A's and B's, honor roll, almost my whole life. And I reflected on this class. I constantly showed up late. I constantly skipped. I didn't turn in work, and if I did, it was late. I never asked for help. I never talked to my professor. So all of these things put and together, I realized I failed that class on purpose. And as strange as that sounds, no, I didn't apply for the class thinking, oh, I'm gonna fail. But my subconscious made me not do well. And so that was life-changing for me. I went through a whole metamorphosis of trying to discover what to do. And through that, I broke through and found the major that I'm in now. And right as I was deciding if I wanted to change or not, I was thinking, what if I regret this for the rest of my life? What if I'm not successful? What if I keep failing classes? And ever since I changed my major, I've been on the dean's list, and now I am accepted into Vanderbilt University with a 100% tuition scholarship for my studies. And that never would have happened if I stayed on the course that I was on. That never would have happened if I continued to be biology pre-med, because I wasn't giving it my all. I wasn't allowing myself to flourish. I was holding myself back because I hadn't found my passion. And so I use this experience as a lesson to be receptive to failure. Don't beat yourself up. Think about what happened and do better. And I encourage you guys to be open to failure and to welcome it and to be excited about it, because you never know, failure might just cause you to find your passion.